Ever wondered why Israel, a country smaller than New Jersey, has such massive global influence? Why does the U.S. defend Israel at any cost? How do Israeli lobbies shape Western policy? Is Israel's real power in Washington or in Silicon Valley? Is it military strength or intelligence networks or something even bigger? How do Israeli corporations shape global tech? Why do Western countries rely on Israeli cybersecurity? And what role does Mossad play in silent world events?
Small in size, surrounded by rivals, yet protected by the world's most powerful empires, Israel stands at the intersection of lobbying, intelligence, economics, and geopolitics. This is the story of how a nation of 9 million built one of the most powerful influence networks on Earth, and why the West cannot ignore it. The story begins long before Israel's creation, in the crowded streets of New York, London, and Berlin. As Jewish communities grew, so did their social and political networks. They built newspapers, charitable groups, cultural centers, and eventually advocacy groups that engaged with Western governments. With rising anti-Semitism and the horrors of World War II, support for a Jewish homeland evolved from an idea to a global political cause. By the 1942, Jewish advocacy had already become a powerful force in Washington and London, long before Israel raised its first flag. When Israel declared independence in 1948, its survival was uncertain. Arab armies invaded, war erupted immediately, and Jewish communities across the West transformed overnight from cultural groups into political networks dedicated to protecting Israel. For millions of Jews worldwide, the birth of Israel wasn't just political. It was emotional, a historic refuge, and that emotional investment created a powerful base for long-term lobbying. In 1951, a small advocacy group grew into what would become the world's most influential foreign policy lobby, AIPA. It mastered the American political system like no other organization. AIPAP built influence through several pillars: campaign donations, voter mobilization, bipartisan strategy, policy research, media relationships, direct outreach to Congress. Supporting Israel became politically profitable. Opposing Israel became politically dangerous. By the late 20th century, AIPAC wasn't just a lobby. It was a gatekeeper of U.S. Middle East policy, ensuring billions in annual military aid and unwavering diplomatic protection.
Political lobbying is only one part of Israel's influence. The other, quieter but deeper, is corporate power. Over the past 3 decades, Israel has embedded itself into the economic engines of the West. When a nation becomes essential to the next generation of technology, from AI to cybersecurity to semiconductors, Western governments cannot afford to ignore it. Executives and investors across Wall Street maintain deep philanthropic and cultural ties to Israel. They fund Israeli universities, security programs, and pro-Israel advocacy. Where big finance leans, foreign policy often follows. Israel's digital medical database and research capacity made it a key partner during global health crises. Pharmaceutical giants rely on Israeli research, creating another layer of interdependence. Media influence isn't about propaganda, it's about storytelling. Many executives and board members support Israeli institutions, shaping what narratives dominate Western screens. Israel serves as a real-time testing ground for Western weapons. Battle-tested technology increases sales. Defense contractors lobby aggressively in Washington, making Israel's security part of their profit model.
Every war Israel fought strengthened Western support. Surrounded by hostile states, Israel framed itself and was framed by its allies as a democratic fortress in an unstable region. After the Six-Day War, Israel's strategic value skyrocketed. The U.S. saw Israel as a counterbalance to Soviet influence in the Arab world, a military ally, a listening post, a testing ground for weapons and intelligence. Over time, it was no longer just a military alliance. It was a geopolitical partnership shaped by shared interests, defense, technology, intelligence, and economics.
While lobbies shaped Israel's political power abroad, Mossad shaped its invisible power. Known for its precision, global reach, and daring operations, Mossad is one of the most capable intelligence agencies in modern history. After the 1972 Munich massacre, Mossad hunted those responsible from Paris to Athens, sending a message to the world: Israel may be small, but its reach is limitless. Mossad's covert war with Iran crippled nuclear facilities, destroyed centrifuges, and eliminated key scientists using cyber attacks and precision strikes. The assassination of Hamas commander Mahmoud al-Mabhouh in Dubai showed Mossad's unmatched sophistication, coordinated movements, fake passports, and a clean exit. Mossad's operations aren't just defensive. They shape global geopolitics and reinforce Israel's position as an indispensable intelligence partner to the U.S. and Europe. The West protects Israel for many reasons: strategic military value, intelligence cooperation, technological leadership, economic integration, Holocaust memory, political influence, corporate partnerships. Israel is not just an ally. It is embedded into the West's security, economy, and technological future. Israel's global strength does not come from geography or population. It comes from networks, intelligence, and innovation. A nation nominal in count and size, but its jaws grip the world from South Pacific to Atlantic.